So
does that count as someone crashes? Do I have that?
Yes.
Yeah,
I think
Someone crashes?
I think crashers are supposed to be on the racetrack.
Damn it!
It's all right.
Mental crashing is okay. I call that okay.
I think so too. I don't think you can technically get any bingo spots before I play the theme song. So
damn it!
There we go.
How about someone pukes?
Welcome to Everyone Racers, a show designed for the world of low-dollar racing and oddball car culture. It doesn't matter what kind of La Champ or lucky track dog you run, SCCA or NASA, we won't discriminate. We even think you drifto hella flush peeps all right, as long as you drive it hard and built it yourself. Join us each week for tech discussion, tips, tricks, as well as news and notes from the world of low-dollar racing. And whether it's on the spot, we judge hella sweet or but terrible, or we're lucky and Chrissy gives us just a tip, we're sure you'll giggle a little and learn a lot. Everyone report to the paddock.
This is Chris. Sorry.
This is Chrissy.
I'm Jeff.
And I'm Mental.
You're
Folks.
not usually one that messes up.
I know, really.
I totally zoned out after reading that. I'm editing.
Thanks so much coming back and listening to a Mantle episode of our podcast. It is episode 61.
What does that mean?
Somebody want to explain? Thank you. There we go.
What?
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
Oh.
It's
61
a
home runs.
famous baseball player.
I've heard of him. That's fine.
Yeah, 61 home runs in a season. They held the record. If you're not driving a car right now, folks, don't forget your E1R bingo card. Links in the show notes.
That's right. Someday one of us will get bingo, and it'll be very exciting. We came very close last May. This time I was on a social justice retreat. And then
Whoa. So, what?
Yes. Go ahead. Gender is a construct. That's what I learned.
Okay.
Don't be the agent.
Anyway. What?
It sounds to me like total quality management for social structure, and it's not that I disagree with the agenda. I hate that it has to be this formal kind of education crap.
Oh no. This is for our students. So we have a college. We try to teach them things. So we did a full weekend away. It's kind of fun.
All right, fair enough.
Yes. So I was cleaning house because my wife's aunt arrived today. We were talking on Tuesday before Thanksgiving, and I've been getting lots of bad parts from China for the CT70. Seriously, who packs a plastic and steel taillight in a non-padded envelope from China and expects it to arrive in New Jersey and not be broken?
Those children will get no rice.
Seriously.
So you learned nothing at this social justice retreat.
Did I say that?
Found that the bridge to the storage garage is out. It's in a little it used to be a nursery, and there's a little river in front of it. And there's a bridge there, and that was out. So I had to park and walk over what was left of the bridge as they're reconstructing it to go into where the car is, and so that. We can't get anything in or out of there, so I can't put the NSX over there for the winter, or can't do anything until that's back done. So, oh well. Anyway, other than that, it's been all kitchen all the time.
All kitchen all the time.
Like driving me crazy. My arms are actually actively in pain most of the time now, and getting ready for some holiday guests.
Holiday fun
in the house and in the garage.
Chris?
Swolled.
That's what you do when you work out. You get all swole.
SWOLL. Yeah. It's a thing.
What?
Swole.
The male half of our guests know about it. That's okay. You can talk now. We just don't introduce you yet.
Oh, get your swole on.
I'll try. Thank you.
No, only talk when summoned.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Chrissy, are you swolled?
I'm not.
What have you been working on?
What? All kitchen remodel all the time. So after the drawer pulls were on, we couldn't use them before then, but now they're on, and now I can put everything away. And that means we cleaned out our den, or our dining room type room that doubled as a pantry. It is completely clean, empty room, except for a bookshelf. Pretty amazing.
It looks like we just moved in.
It's
no appliances. I mean, there's not an oven or any, because like there's always been something.
But only till
there. The oven is in the living room because that's the only thing left. Everything else is in. Everything else is installed. Everything else is functional. Just have to actually lift the oven into the cabinet that it goes in and wire it in, and that's it. It's done. Like the stove, the new gas stove is in, or cooktop is in and works. The sink is in, including replumbing behind the wall that I almost blew a gasket on this weekend. That works. It's all there.
Like Temper blew a gasket, or like had a mechanical failure.
Temper.
Oh, Temper, absolutely. Oh, Temper. Yes, we had, and then he hit his hand, and then he hit his finger really hard, and then he hit his head, and he was throwing crap, and it was scary. But it's okay. So back to me. I also applied some epoxy to make our makeshift countertop. So we bought some plywood because our countertops won't be here for a while, and we're having Thanksgiving, so we needed some countertops. I put some epoxy on them. They look lovely, and then I did a whole bunch of cleaning. That's what I have done because we have all kinds of guests coming up this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how many are you hosting?
Well, Thanksgiving, it's some, and then a couple days after Thanksgiving, there's more, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Mantle, what are you doing?
So Friday, took a field trip down to Fort Benning. I've done this trip 3 times, and I drive the bus, and it usually works like this. We take the kids down there. They have to be there super early in the school because the school buses aren't fast. We go down there, they have a great time, they learn a bunch, and then on the way home they are exhausted, they all fall asleep. Well, this time they got even more energetic while I'm sitting in Friday 5:00 Atlanta holiday traffic. That was a test, I swear. That was a wow.
A test of your patience? Was that what it was?
Seriously. And I know I was like this, but I don't remember a time when I needed to make my point by saying it repeatedly and louder and louder and louder. No, you don't know the Foo Fighters. No, you don't know the Foo Fighters. No, you don't know the Foo Fighters. You know, that times 16.
Oh.
So does this count as Mantle tells a story that goes nowhere?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got it.
Story absolutely
that's
went
a good
someplace because you guys are all laughing. Sunday I did Drive Strong, and the young girl in the car, if you remember Wayne from the Hong Nor guys back in the day, it was his daughter. And
that poor girl.
Well, exactly. She's so blessed because she looks like her mother, and she's obviously got her mother's intelligence, and you would never guess it was her daughter until another car started screwing stuff up, and she's sitting in the backseat going, stupid. That guy's stupid. I'm like, oh, you are totally Wayne's kid.
And you don't know the Foo Fighters like I know the Foo Fighters.
And I started my Thanksgiving break by going and fetching a car. And I just got back about 2 hours ago because holiday traffic. But
so now you don't have to be a creeper driving your RV to high school every day.
Exactly. Now I'm a creeper driving a Volvo wagon to high school.
That's not nearly as creepy.
No, that's not as creepy. Well, what does it say on it, or what color is it?
It's white. It's and actually
it's pretty not creepy.
My brother gave it to me. He details cars for a living, and he stayed at work an extra 3 hours and went through the whole thing. Actually, it has the nicest paint job of anything I own.
Well, great.
Awesome.
Again, another story that doesn't. Can you check it off twice?
No, you can't. You only get it once.
Fine.
Oh, well, let's move on to our guests here. Even though you're not introduced, why don't we start with, hey, Bill, what you working on?
Oh, I got a list. So we have the donor car for the Capri that we need to replace.
Hold on, who is this?
Well, wait.
Could you please say who you are?
I am one of the squares. I am Bill from Garage Heroes in training. So I'm back again.
Hi.
And your better guest than you is?
Yes, my significantly better half.
Hi, I'm
You
Vicki
upgraded.
Fischer.
I outkicked my coverage by a long way.
I like when you call her the CFO. I think that's the best.
Yeah, unfortunately, she doesn't see what I write, but that's okay.
But Jeff, what episode did we have Bill on?
Oh gosh,
26 or something.
20,
like that.
yeah, something around there.
Okay.
Yeah, 26. So we blew up the Capri by keeping it in second gear and continuing to drive, thinking it was third gear. So we needed a new donor car, so we picked up.
And which child did that?
That would be Cassian. I don't quite know how you confuse second and third, but...
Well, third was non-existent.
Well, third is up and second is down.
Well, also, you have a thing goes, wah, or
yeah.
Right.
Or
we lost the link on the
Foo Fighters. You don't know the Foo Fighters.
I could see Cassian getting into some arguments about the Foo Fighters. That sounds right up his alley.
Yeah, I could see that. So, yeah. So that's one car down. Then we're prepping for El Jefe Palooza post-Thanksgiving, where we do a fuel cell, some exhaust, and I think we're still working on that front-end ground effects part. Spare Time did another book, Racing Under the Illusion of Grandeur, a men and women guide for over 40 who want to drive like Mario. We haven't figured out if it's Mario Andretti or Mario Kart, but we're working on it.
Nice. Watch out for those mushrooms.
I saw that on your Instagram, and I actually now have a copy of that sitting on my nightstand. I haven't.
I'm gonna have to try and get that.
I as soon as I went straight to Amazon and bought that one.
Yeah, I heard him on a podcast, and I was like, "Oh, I'm over 40 by a lot." So, so we got that.
Two of us.
Yeah. So, and then I finished up Ross Bentley's 101 and 201 courses, and I'm working on his Road Atlanta track walk because for some reason that track's in my head. So I think I need to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're not going to want to walk down that hill.
Yeah.
How do you have so much time?
I don't. I just,
Do you not sleep?
Doesn't work.
He doesn't.
CEO.
Bill's a robot.
When you get high enough in the corporate ladder, you don't do shit.
You just read racing books. Okay, just making sure I understand the secret here.
Who is the least working person on the Three Pedal Mafia extended family? I'll give you a hint. He owns his own company.
Greg Smith.
His RV is bigger than all of our first apartments.
Exactly. Remember the Triumph came in and it had all of that awesomely custom bent aluminum that put the air cleaner where the glove box was, and I said, "Wow, this is amazing. Where did you do this?" He said, "One of my guys did it. I paid him."
Okay, legit. Yeah. I buy it.
Okay.
So, Bill, you done? Shall we pass it over to Vicki and find out what's going on with her?
It looks like Bill left.
Yeah, where did Bill go?
Vicki, you're in charge now. Tell us what's really happening.
Well, she's in charge anyway, but...
Well, Bill's kind of a robot. So when he's so efficient with his time that it's almost inhuman. So that's basically what he had done. Oh. He's definitely... When he gets a bone, he chews on it till there's nothing left. So anyway, right now it's currently the racing thing. But for me right now is that I thought I was having company for Thanksgiving. So I've been very busy on my place before the company went to Chrissy's house.
Yes. And
that was a bit of an audible.
And I had to clean my house, and we're all getting takeout because I haven't been making things.
Yeah. So basically what I've been doing is I've been doing all the non-racing stuff because Bill's been managing that part. He wants me to do the racetrack walk online. He's definitely been pushing because we definitely need to sit down. He's been talking to me about that. But I think for us is that I've been wrapping the screen porch outside. So I ordered the wrap, and I'm kind of doing it myself. So I wrapped the whole thing, and I'm getting it set because that becomes the new garage mahal for poker night on Thursday nights for all the guys in the neighborhood. So they'll be over our place now instead of going to the he shed in Scranton. And also we have our ski mountain is opening up, so I'm trying to prep the house and getting it ready for ski season. So, which is going to be pretty exciting. So that's kind of what we're doing.
That is exciting. I think the only thing that could even begin approaching the pricing of auto racing is skiing.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
You can burn through some serious cash with a ski addiction.
Mm-hmm. Right. But fortunately, our ski mountain's only 20 minutes away, so it makes it very easy for us.
That helps.
Yeah.
Season passes help. That if you get early enough in the season,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And so that's what we're up to.
I consider it a success. I lived in Colorado for 3 years and never got into skiing or snowboarding.
That's a shame.
It's the startup price, but when you have a kid that's growing, you got to keep going.
There you go.
Yeah, I started when I was 3. Okay, well, we
I
lost
don't
Bill.
mess with
Looks
the
like
double
permanently.
planks.
So
that's all right. We kept a good Fisher.
That's right. We don't need him anyway.
Yep.
Let's move on. News and notes time. I'm very excited because someone actually brought me a story other than myself.
I did.
Go, Chrissy.
So I actually made the notes, and because I found this article, and so we are talking some women in motorsports, but it is a sad story. A drag racer killed at Sebring. So there's a 24-year-old Katarina Kat Moller of Sarasota killed while driving a Larson Motorsports jet-propelled dragster. So she had 2 first scheduled exhibition runs. The dragster is observed drifting into the left lane towards the center lane. As it crossed the center line during the run, dragster struck a timing device located in between the lanes. At the finish line, parachute deployed, kept drifting, scraped the wall, hit the tire barrier in turn 1 on the racetrack. So this is where I think this was a makeshift drag strip. And they said the accident was caused probably by a piece of debris that struck her helmet.
That's what I heard. Also.
Yeah. So when she started racing when she was 11, licensed with Larson Motorsports and dragster in 2013, began professional exhibition racing in 14. And this is what I found was interesting. Moller is the second jet dragster pilot killed in an accident on a non-drag racing specific circuit in 2018. So this is the second one in 2018. The first one was jet car icon Doug Rose lost his life in August while performing at Michigan's Norway Speedway in his legendary Green Mamba dragster. So my question, I tried to do some more research on how I couldn't find much data on how more people die on drag strips than in other sources of racing. Couldn't really find that information. Also, is it the driver? Is it the car? Is it because this is a makeshift drag strip on a race course,
or like a jet, because those jet cars are like the fastest things going, right? I mean, I don't know. Those jet cars are different because they're not actually being propelled by the tires. So if a top fuel dragster loses any gription, like it torques or it twists or a wheel gets punctured, it no longer is going as fast because it is immediately losing power. But a jet dragster, it could be in the middle of the air. Yeah. It's still going to continue accelerating.
And it's because there is not a direct drive connection, so you're not getting that kind of immediate engine feedback on that. But I think Christy's got a valid point about it not being a real. You go to an NHRA drag strip, and those people know exactly how to respond. The retaining walls are designed to kind of reflect the cars back into the center and absorb the same way a racetrack, they design those walls to be hit a certain way. And I think Chrissy's onto something about that is,
non-specific.
Yeah.
And then also your response personnel are not going to respond the same as.
I mean, it was a racetrack. I assume they know how to.
But it's Sebring, and Sebring is lumps of concrete that used to be a runway.
I don't know. I didn't know anything about this track, but I just thought it was interesting. They kept kind of glossing over that, but it's because it's a different kind. It's not an actual drag strip. So if they say, well, most drag strips are fine, and maybe the racing surface is different because it's where they know what's coming down the straight, and it's not necessarily just any race car. And truthfully, I didn't know much about the jet dragsters. I don't know much about drag racing anyway, but I just thought it was interesting, and from a sad moment on women in motorsports.
Silly sport. You don't have to turn. Who's interested? Not me.
Go that way.
No. Don't start fracturing our sport, man. Racers are racers.
That's why I added it. Okay, yeah. Jeff, go ahead.
I definitely have hung out in some import drag circles for a little while there.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I am going to butcher this pronunciation, but Carlos Ghosn who is the Brazilian-French chairman of the Nissan-Renault-Mitsubishi Alliance.
He's not anymore.
He's not anymore. He was. I'm sorry. He was arrested in Japan the other day for some sort of financial wrongdoing. Short version, he has been underreporting his earnings for many years, and that is punishable in Japan by up to 10 years in prison.
Yeah, seriously, if you're going to cheat taxes, don't do it in Japan. Like, come on, do it here where the IRS has no money to actually check.
Exactly.
Yeah, where they're not as detail oriented, or,
Right.
I don't know, stay in France where they're just not that aggressive about it. But he's if you follow his whole thing, he saved Nissan and he saved Mitsubishi, and this guy was aggressive with his numbers. So
Yep, he was a financial killer. He would come into a group and cut out all the crap, and all of a sudden they're profitable again.
And at that level,
quick
he's got
question.
people telling him, this is illegal. You can't do this. And he says,
Of
nah,
course.
I can
Yeah.
do it.
and he made big waves when he moved from France to Japan to kind of symbolically be the head of Nissan. It was a big deal.
Because he was the head of Renault before he.
He still was.
Yeah, I mean, he still is because they're together. But anyway, here's a quick question, quick poll for the group. How big is Nissan, Renault, Mitsubishi Alliance?
Enormous.
If the number one manufacturer in the world is blah, 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 where is Nissan, Renault? Mantle's got up 3. Anyone else want to guess? We got 1.
It's Toyota, Volkswagen Auto Group, Renault, Nissan.
Actually, GM is in there. They're 4th.
Yeah. So they're not in the first 3 then.
Yes,
they're
yes.
4th. So they're not in there.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, see, when you hold up 3, that means
You're wrong.
Number 3.
Yes,
News
if
and
I
notes.
held up 4.
That would have been correct.
3 is good for my bingo card, though.
Oh!
And he comes
anyway.
back on a high note.
Welcome
I-
back. I knew there was some racing going on. Somebody talk about that.
All right.
All right. So the Hurricane Out AER race was back at Summit Point this weekend, and they had 8 inches of snow, some rain, but it was all for their season championship. First, second, and third were all BMWs.
Boring.
So, but the Just for Fun guys. Now, second was the Don't Panic E30 BMW. Actually, do really like those guys. Spent a lot of time watching them reassemble that car to get 1 lap at Mid Ohio, and then
Wait a minute, actually, that's the season results I put in there. I couldn't find the race results.
I'm sorry, the season results.
Season
Don't
results.
Panic E30, and those guys work really hard. And he is forever. He was the one that got accused of being homeless in his own hotel because he'd been wrenching on his
excellent.
car.
Yes.
And then the low bar E36s. So, in fact, the entire top 10 of AR was all BMWs except the Blue Bayou Racing and the TCS Honda guys. So, yeah, TCS Honda has that really nice case swapped fit.
Yep.
Sweet.
And Blue Bayou runs a pair of current Mustangs.
Yes. And while we're talking racing, folks, don't forget our folks over at Lucky Dog have their 2019 schedule up. Their races fill up quickly. We have an email waiting us on the E1R mailbox from Kathy.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks.
About your appearance at Laguna this year.
Thank you.
So go check it out at
Woo.
racelucky.com.
Thank you. Thank you. I get to check off Kathy from Lucky Dog on my sheet.
Yay, me too. Yay. Thanks, Kathy. Great. And if you want to drive a car that's much better than a boring BMW, Extreme Experience can put you in the driver's seat of some of the world's best supercars at over 20 racetracks in America and Canada with no speed limits, no shifting restrictions, and no governors. Head to xxspeed.com to choose your supercar, find a racetrack near you, and start making a story of your own because they have 7 models of exotic cars or supercars to choose from. 20 tracks, including year-round location in NOLA, a pro instructor like Mantle or Jeff or me in the car with you, helping you explore the car limits and learn to drive the racing line. Save 25%. That's buy 3, get 1 free when you use the code EveryoneRacers at xxspeed.com to book today. Extreme Experience, it's your turn.
Whoop, whoop.
I feel like we should defer the next part of the podcast to our guests.
Oh, I agree.
Because
that would
they
be
did it on
wonderful.
their podcast. So is there anything that Bill or Vicki would like to say at this point?
Is that what we're calling what we're doing? Is
What are you talking about?
Well, no. Would there be someone you would like to greet?
say hello to, and perhaps.
Oh.
Hi, Chrissy's mom.
Yay! Check.
Say hi to her on our podcast.
I know. That's what I was saying.
That's going to be the new standard. All the podcasts have to say hi to Chrissy's mom.
Sounds awesome.
Yes, you guys should start like your own podcast network, like Crooked Media.
That should be our podcast network. Hi, Chrissy's Mom Podcast Network. Feedback.
Folks, we had lots of conversation last week on our episode about fuel cells, including Michael K., who got a hold of us. Initially started out with teach Mantle how to say wreath because it sounds like he's saying read, which makes no sense until I read the show notes. I understand how to say wreath.
Also, thanks
Michael.
for reading show notes.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, really.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll take that hit if you're reading the show notes. Good on you. Yeah.
He's a redneck. We apologize.
I don't apologize for nothing.
You're going to be as rednecky when you move, but, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
So,
that's a whole different world. Yeah.
Michael also had some feedback about the fuel cells, and he basically had a whole nother take on fuel cells. He thinks that we shouldn't be putting fuel cells into things until it's a last resort. He says the maintenance, there's additional points of failure. You need to replace the foam every now and then. He says he rinses his foam after every race, which I don't think we've ever done.
No way.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of work.
He puts extra filters between the pump to catch all the foam. I don't know what kind of foam he has.
The
but
Hydromat acts as a great pre-filter.
There you go.
I'll tell you.
So, yeah, he basically has done 2 pre-filters and separate pumps and a valve to swap them. So he definitely has the opinion that fuel cells are only if you need it.
The devil.
Which, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
We like that. Give us a different
They
thought.
absolutely add a lot of cost and complexity to a car. So
Yep. And he says at least 3 potential additional points of failure. So, yeah, there it is. Thanks, Michael.
And 3 p.m. teammate Dave C. said, "Hey, I was listening to the podcast while doing my brakes yesterday. Lots of good info. A little FYI, when I was replacing my lines in the Cressida, I used anplumbing.com and spoke with someone there, and he said a lot of sanctioning bodies are starting to outlaw aluminum fuel lines because they're more likely to crack. So he went with lined steel for McMaster Car. So I had not heard that one, but if you were starting from scratch and making lines, if you had hard lines in there, you might want to go with lined steel. So unless you're sticking with the OEM lines with the right fasteners or whatever.
Yeah.
So something to keep in
OEM
mind.
is always the best.
Sure.
Okay, young Chris Egan, check it off on your card if you have it. Was kind enough to share his fuel cell cage pictures with us and mentioned tip: if your Walbro 255 inline dies and you don't have a spare 1989 Ford Econoline van with a straight six, it uses an inline pump that will basically drop in the place of a Walbro. Almost guaranteed to be in stock at your local Flap. Brett Slum, is that on our?
Yes.
Flaps.
Is
I
it?
get
Nice.
flaps.
That's a
Flaps
flap.
on my car.
Yay!
Brett S. countered that Walbro 255 pumps are far more volume and pressure than stock engines require. All that gas recirculating will cost vapor locking at high temp. We step down to the GLS 393 to lower the volume and pressure.
GSL 393.
I'm sorry, GSL 393.
Okay, someone's actually going to look it up.
393.
Who knows? Google.
I don't care.
Let me Google that for you.
Well, but those guys are running a boosted engine, so they can't afford.
Yeah.
They have to have reliable fuel delivery or cargo boom.
I don't know. Walbro's been enough to feed the Civic, even though it was hella boosted. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
it's at the Civic. Sweet. Where's that on the list? Yeah. All right.
You can't self-feed your own bingo.
Well, I said it. I didn't plan on it.
Oh, I
You
can
said
say-
it earlier too.
Yeah.
By the way,
we're
that
a
is a
terrible rookie
Walbro.
team when we're done.
That is a Walbro part. Walbro GSL 393.
Okay, great. And hey, Michael Krenzer, or Michael K on the Facebook, not about fuel cells. Hey, so it's put up or shut up time. Lemon's added pit race to the calendar. So since you four seem to have an almost unhealthy passion for that track, tell us why again. And ultimately, remind us which episode the original Ode to Pit Race was. Trying to convince the 47 Plymouth co-owner to go there instead of Autobahn. So I don't remember which one that is. I'd have to go look. But the reason we like Pit Race...
It's been a couple.
Yeah, I replied right on there. I can't remember what number it was, but right on the Facebook, I replied to him. But I also put up a picture of a Primanti sandwich
That.
and an imp and iron. So that is my response on why we like pit race.
And the video, did you have a video of the fast lap too? Right?
I did put a video of fast lap. Yes. For those of you who don't have this, an imp and iron is a shot of Imperial whiskey in an Iron City beer. It's a favorite drink in Pittsburgh.
Yin's gonna get hammered with that.
Yins are.
And I thought that was a spot on answer, Jeff, but you forgot that awesome go-kart track.
I actually didn't see the go-kart track there.
Oh, they've got a great go-kart track.
Plus, the
really
actual
good, really
track
good stuff.
is pretty great. So if you were thinking about going to pit races at Autobahn, let me ask you, do you like elevation change or do you like completely flat, like a pool table? Because Autobahn's completely flat. Pit race has tons of elevation change, and it's interesting.
That's relative,
to drive.
actually.
It has what?
Well, east of the Mississippi, where there is no elevation.
This is the
change.
closest we get to elevation change out here. Well, except Palmer, but fine. It has a lot more than Autobahn. Autobahn is like racing in the desert. There's no elevation change at all.
No, you guys know what tracks I'm coming from. Road Atlanta, AMP, Barber, and yes, I'd say Pitts Race has some really substantial elevation changes. It's fantastic. I agree with that. And I've done so many times at Autobahn, and it's flat.
Big paddock, good facilities, reasonably close to major roadways.
Great people.
There's stores around, nice people. Yeah. So that's that.
There it is.
All right.
Good. All right. Is it main topic time, everyone?
Well, until you yell it.
Main topic time.
It's so official.
No one actually wrote like a complex intro for Bill and Vicky.
Well, you can just ad-lib it. Go for it.
I know. Bill, you don't have any of those really cool like hyper-produced promos, do you?
I do. If you want some, I can.
Sure. Go ahead. Let's see if you can play one of these.
Oh, I have no idea how to do that on here.
No, don't worry. So we have with us Bill and Vicki Fischer from Garage Heroes in Training. You remember them from episode, I can't remember the number. 26. Episode 26, a half a lifetime ago, because he wrote us with a bunch of questions. And one of our early shows, we answered a bunch of questions for an absolute total noob who had never been racing. A couple of I won't give away his resume yet, but first Lemons race before his first Lemons race, and now he has 3 under his belt, a season full. He's about to go to his last one, and we said, come back to the podcast and tell us how it went. So that is tonight's topic. Any thoughts right off the bat from Bill and Vicky?
I think we need to thank you guys for not only the podcast, but also for helping us out at every race. I don't think we'd be half as bad as we are, or half as good, I guess.
It's all relative.
Yeah. So I think you guys have been helpful more than you can even imagine. So
it's a first. We were helpful.
High five.
Yes.
I noticed it's not on the bingo card, so I figured I might.
Darn!
It doesn't happen.
Not on the bingo card.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It has to be trite and happens every episode type stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, well, we got one time, so I think you guys were tremendously helpful and have been great friends for us at the races. So we'd like to thank you for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
Aww.
You're definitely part of the extended race family now. So tell us about the season. 3 races in. Biggest success, biggest failure, biggest surprise.
Biggest success was probably our first race at NJMP. I think we did pretty well. Our car made it through. And then biggest failure, we've got a few of those. We can choose any car at any other race that we went to. So we thought this was easy. We're like, just fix the car, bring it to the race, drive home. This is easy.
Okay, okay. So we actually had the beginner's curse when we actually had our car go on and almost complete the race.
This was the Capri,
we completed
right?
the race. Yeah, the Capri. We got on. We drove the race. We finished the race. We left, and we're like, "Hey, we're all in." And after that, everything just went to hell.
That's because you got more than one car.
That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. So things started getting a little complicated after that.
So the very first race, you had the 70. I don't know the year.
74.
Capri. 74 Capri that was purchased from Prompt Critical team down here in South Jersey, and it performed almost flawlessly.
On the first race, it did.
On the first race.
Excellent.
Yeah. And you decided that, hey, that was easy. Let's complicate this by bringing every young child we know, every fool who doesn't know how to drive stick, and an entire extra car to the next race.
Yeah, I don't see any fault in that.
There's no flaws.
As always.
And I love
it's worth doing.
It's worth
if
overdoing.
It's worth overdoing.
I love the judgment in your voice, Jeff. Like, what were you people thinking? Like, I haven't known you to do this for the last 6 years.
Everyone I have ever brought to a race knew how to drive stick.
I can't say that.
We're eager to learn.
So I put a bunch of questions in the show notes, and I'm just going to keep going unless somebody shouts one out and asks. So 3 races, 3 broken cars, 2 of them terminal, right?
How did one of those cars break? Asking for a friend.
Well, one broke by having the car drop a transmission linkage and thinking it was in second and third. We did that one already. One was coming onto the main straightaway for New Hampshire. We had one of our drivers there, and there was a car passing on the inside and a car passing on the outside. The car passing on the inside didn't quite complete the pass and hit the front end of the Mustang, and then that turned, hit the outside car into the wall. So the Mustang was twisted lengthwise, left to right, and then diagonally. So I think we got all 3 dimensions taken care of. So that was a problem.
Yeah.
And then the Hombre had some. Vicki goes so fast around turns that she
Splashgate.
Through centripetal.
I love Splashgate.
Through centripetal force, she forces gas out of the car no matter what. So
I was drinking coffee in my car listening to your podcast, and you said Splashgate, and coffee went up my nose. it was the fluid just constantly flies out when you talk about that song.
Yes, that whole thing was not handled well at all.
I am officially apologizing to everyone who's not in 3 Pedal Mafia on this phone call for Splashgate. I have to take every piece of this, because if I'd have just put a blue glove over that thing, we would have been racing all weekend.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I said, we should have just went and got some kind of rubber device, threw it over there, twisted it. I would have been fine.
You really have to be careful with this group about rubber device. I'm just saying.
Well,
yeah.
My favorite one.
So, but I was sitting in pit row when I saw my sister come around onto the straightaway with the spider stang. And as we were waiting, the car jolted left, the car jolted right, and then the whole hood came up and hit the windshield. And of course, this is only like her second race. and the person who happened to be about 17, getting ready to go into the car next time, he says, "So am I still racing?" And I'm like, "No, honey. I'm sorry, you're done.
You're not getting in the car."
No, you're not getting in the car now. And
did the spider stang hit the wall?
No, the spider stang didn't. It hit both cars.
The Coca-Cola car hit. The Coca-Cola car spun around and hit the wall, the outside wall.
Because the front clip was totally crushed on that thing.
Yeah.
So it was just from the left and right. Hashtag Malachi Crunch.
Yeah.
For those of you who are old enough to know that.
She got a, she's like,
Chrissy has no idea what that means.
No.
Chris, do you know what the Malachi Crunch is?
It's some wrestling thing.
No. Happy Days.
I just
Happy
assumed
Days.
it would
From
do that.
Happy Days.
Sorry.
All right.
Can't take this guy.
So how about biggest? Okay, so we did biggest success. I guess the Mustang is probably biggest disappointment.
Yes.
Most surprising thing in the 3 races?
I think the number of things that we have to do at one race with 2 cars, 5 teenagers, it just, I don't know, the common sense thing, so there's this joking quality that, the thing is to try to idiot-proof your process. But the problem is they keep coming with better and better idiots. So I kind of feel like that applies to our team, as we add people. I think our IQs go down. So we're working on it.
But the good news is that they're testing your process. You have to introduce idiots into your process in order to make sure that your process is effective.
Well, you also got to think of it too, is that we're all coming in as a group and we're all excited about it. So everybody's learning at the same time. We're not there to win. We're just bringing in a whole new group. They just happen to be all at the same time. Yeah. So
I say idiots. The phrase inexperienced, but yes.
No. We're just all. I think we had our first race. It went really well, and we had such a blast. I mean, it was so good for us. It was such a new experience, and I think at that point we got done with the race and we're all in. We are all in. And my sister happened to be at that first race. And she says, I want to do that too. And she went and she learned how to drive the stick shift. And then she was in the next race. She was all in. So now we're kind of committed.
And someday you'll explain to your children that's why they can't afford to go to college anymore, because that's when you got addicted to racing and that's where all the money went.
I think one of the issues might be teenagers, the intelligence quotient of teenagers are slightly less than 1. So when you put them together, you multiply them together, and it just goes down faster and faster and faster. Like if you have 1 teenager, 2 teenagers, you can overcome that.
Mm-hmm. Throw more into the mix, and they just bottom out.
Once it gets all of a sudden they're yelling about the Foo Fighters. I don't know what else.
No, it was we were good. We loved it.
Because I will say that I have hung out with, I probably got to know probably 50 to 60% of the teenagers that you brought, and each one individually is an excellent person.
Yeah, it's a cumulative thing though.
It's a cumulative thing. So we're gonna do a trade. I think we're gonna give you let me see, who should we trade? We want Cassian, I think.
Oh, no problem.
Or oh my gosh, what's Alan's son's name?
Bennett.
I think maybe Bennett or Cassian, and we'll trade you Mantle, I think.
well, speaking of trading Mantle, we have this race coming up where we have 3 people in Atlanta. If only I knew somebody who drove in Georgia. There's got to be somebody down there.
I am available Sunday only.
We are there both days.
Yes.
They are driving both days.
I'll be more than happy to help you guys out. But as painful it is Saturday is our first big region marksmanship meet. So we're going to have everybody, and I can't bail on that because no one else can do it.
That's okay. We'll try and get a car to Sunday, so that'll be our goal.
There you go.
Excellent. Yep, all of our goals. So what's the plan for Atlanta? What are you doing different? Like what's your strategy this time?
Less people.
Well,
we did good.
1 car.
Every time we bring 1 car, we go, this is so easy and fun. Why don't we do this more often?
Well, 2 cars, 1 mechanic, and both of them going at the same time. I mean, the poor guy. He's trying to work on 2 of them at the same time, trying to get them both on the track was a little bit of a mess. Mm-hmm. But
yeah, we've definitely found with multi-car teams that you have to divide and conquer.
Mm-hmm.
You have to put 1 good wrench on each car and basically say, that one is your job. Don't worry about this one over here. That one is your job.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we just break them in bulk, though, so we just, do them at the same time. So
Or even if you don't have a good wrench, you just have a good project manager on each car who goes and finds the good wrench.
Yeah. I always got the Hombre, the GM vehicles, I should say. So that means I have to carry the metric and the standard tools.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chris is like, don't worry, I got the Civic. I got all the tools. He's got just all the metrics.
10, 12, 14, 17, 19, 22. That's it.
That's it.
So Chris brings up a good point though about, what are you guys doing different for Atlanta? So walk me through this. So your track experience at this point is Thompson, New Hampshire, New Jersey?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
for Lemons, yeah.
Okay, so what other tracks have you guys been on? Just outside of Lemons, just any racetracks that. Because you're wearing your Bertrell Roos race school shirt there, and I know that's New Jersey, but I don't know if you guys
It's Pocono.
We've been to Monticello.
Monticello,
okay.
Pocono.
Mhm.
And just we were having this conversation this weekend with some of the other instructors and they're going to get on to me for waxing poetically about Road Atlanta, but Road Atlanta is one of those great 70s tracks like Road America and Mid-Ohio where they didn't design it, we're going to mimic this famous turn and then that's going to blend into this famous turn and we're going to utilize all of this. Road Atlanta is just it looks like you could go through the woods right here. So just run the bulldozer that way. We'll pave it. It'll be great. But you were talking, you've been doing the preparation beforehand. How is your driver preparation? We talked about the car and the team. How is your driver preparation changing for this track versus the other places you guys have been?
So I've been doing, trying to figure out, because the weakest part of our team is our drivers. I'm probably mechanical, then driver, then car. So I've been doing a lot of trying to figure out how I can drive better and how I can translate that driving better. So, I'm very mathematical, geometric. So when you said apex, I thought geometrical apex, and I never thought about why or what I would do a late apex for versus a early apex for versus 120 cars on New Jersey, and who knows where the apex is. So, the apex is between 3 cars, and I'm not going there. So, or at Thompson in the downpour, the apex was the least of my problems. It was just trying to find something that had any grip whatsoever. So trying to accommodate that and try to adjust. And I think as the races have gone, the times, our speed and times have probably gone down, but the mental processing has probably gone up because we're getting more used to all the inputs that you get from racing. And I swear the first 10 or 20 laps at New Jersey, I don't know that I used the windshield at all. I used my mirror quite a lot because everybody was passing us. But, you have to kind of balance that. And, even though we're not the fastest team out there, we try and we're trying hard, but, we'll get better with time.
I think that, right now for me, it's just, and I always said it, that I try to make the car float. As Chris had told me at one point, is that you shouldn't have your car work so hard for you as you're hitting those turns. If you do it just right, you can kind of, besides the fact that you have to go around all the other racers and everything like that, you shouldn't have to make your car work so hard when you hit those apexes. So I've been really, really trying to understand how I should be hitting those corners and trying to race the track more than I am just trying to race for speed alone. It's just trying to understand how the track operates and how my car can operate on it.
The speed get into the flow of the zone.
Yeah, once I get the feeling of the racetrack and how that car is supposed to drive on it, then I apply the speed.
The speed will come.
Exactly.
Yeah.
As soon as I get more comfortable with how it's supposed to hit.
And
if you have the barking dog square in your bingo, there you go.
That officially gets in there. Vicki, you haven't done a live any kind of driver training, right? You didn't go to an HPDE or anything?
No. The only thing I did was Monticello with Bill once, and other than that, all my training's been on the racetrack. So I've been kind of getting.
What was the Monticello thing?
It was a BMW club, semi HPDE, semi hay-buyer car.
Oh, got it.
Okay, so the dealer got a couple of hot shoes to run you guys around the track. Look how great these cars are.
Yeah.
Okay, those are actually can be kind of fun. I know I work with some folks that do that for Audi.
Yeah. I was going to tell you that I picked up a ton of bad habits because I hadn't been instructed, and I did a lot of lemons racing, and I realized that I was driving lines to get around cars instead of lines to get around the track.
Right.
And I'd become like a serial early apexer. And getting to an HPDE where there are no other cars and you get to try and do everything right on every turn is a drastically different experience, and I would highly recommend it, and I can't wait to do my next one.
So we have 2 scheduled for next year already. So I put together our agenda for the next year. So you guys may get stuck teaching one of us or more of us in Pittsburgh. So that's one of them.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, that planning completely out for the next year to 2 years. That's that robot I was telling you about. Yeah, he's totally got us all.
He wasn't
here when you
does not compute.
We will do some training.
Excel is your friend. That's all.
I will buy more race cars till we all have one.
I have 6 this year, so I'm trying to cut back next year.
Oh my gosh!
Which race car was the biggest failure? Because I know what you're gonna say.
The Mustang.
No, I don't think so. I think
the Mustang has been a constant problem from us from the very beginning.
No, it's
All
not
right,
your
Vicki
problem
votes
anymore.
Mustang.
Well, what's
Spider Stang.
Aside from getting crunched, what's been the major beef with the Mustang?
Everything.
It didn't run great.
No,
it was a turbo.
Yeah,
We
the
weren't
turbo
ready for
has
that.
been a constant struggle.
Yes,
and then
check it off your list. It's on
There
my
you
bingo card.
I've already got a straight line, by the way. So I just
Oh, you do?
you have
bingo?
Yeah.
Whoa!
Okay.
You're supposed to say bingo when
You're
that
supposed to yell
happens.
bingo.
Bingo.
All right. You have to now read your card and tell us what you got on the straight line.
Well, it's kind of cheating. I mean, one of them was Bill at Garage Hero, so that was
Counts. I have that checked off mine.
extreme experience isn't exactly terrible.
There you go.
Even though it's misspelled.
Yeah. Well, that's
Okay.
That's it.
There's typos galore. So
Says the person who runs a college.
Yes.
spell
All right,
check.
so-
That F7
so that-
button is worn
There's
out.
no spell check on the whatever
Gosh.
bingo Google card I got. Okay, so
But
Bill,
terrible.
extreme experience, but terrible.
Yeah.
Wait. When did we say but terrible?
Well, I
In
said
the
we
intro.
I said,
Early
I said
on
we could-
in the
Yeah.
intro.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it's in the intro.
And then
Oh, that's right. Dang
I
it.
asked if Mantle came in third, counted, so we had that.
Oh
one.
yeah, that was a good one.
Uh-huh.
And then we are a rookie team, so those are 5.
There you
Oh.
go.
See, I haven't clicked my rookie team space. It's been sitting
didn't
open for like
either.
20 minutes waiting for someone to say rookie team. But now that you have, I got bingo too.
Whoa, big all around tonight.
I got hi to Chrissy's mom, rookie team, free space, the Civic and kitchen remodel.
Free space.
Oh, I got nothing.
I need
All right.
somebody to talk about trailer brakes, wheel bearings, or national champions. Dang it.
I need
Nope.
to talk about Mantle is drunk.
And
He's getting
I
there.
am there is nothing here because I stayed up too late with my brother last night. I'm hungover.
So sober as a judge. All right, back
He was
to the
drunk
podcast.
last night, so that's close.
So Vicki just slammed her wine. By the way, we all watched that. You're on video. Don't forget.
You can't triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd. You can't
Yeah.
triple stamp a double stamp, Lloyd.
So Vicki votes Mustang as the worst car purchase. Bill, what do you think it is?
Well, I've got 3 of them that we bought that we never even got to the track, so I would have to vote those. So
Oh well, I thought he was talking to actual lemons cars that we have, not the pre-lemon.
well, they were supposed to be lemons. They were supposed to be lemons cars. They just never got there.
I brought this up because I know that you did probably the worst thing that anyone could attempt to do, especially if you're a new team, and
Hombre.
that's buy a circle track car and try and make
And
it
he did
a Lemons car.
Listen,
with the coat hanger roll bar.
aluminum foil as a roll bar is very structural, and I think it will last many, many years because aluminum doesn't rust.
PVC also a great choice for a roll
Yes,
cage.
yeah.
No corrosion.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. So, Bill, if you could go back to episode 26,
Uh-huh.
what advice would current Bill give past Bill?
What would advice?
Oh, good question.
I think
I think
the-
Vicky's going to have to
Vicky,
answer
you
this
can have
also.
advice for past Bill too if you want.
Vicky
Well,
has
current
advice for
Bill.
current Bill,
Don't
future
buy
Bill,
stupid
and past Bill.
cars. Don't buy stupid cars. He came in with the Porsche, and I looked inside the Porsche at the engine. I'm like, you have to remove half the engine just to get to stuff that you have to work on.
Yep.
What kind of
hold
Porsche
on.
is that?
I say, yeah, what kind of Porsche? Asking for a friend.
This matters.
Two different 944s.
Oh, checking it off my
there we
list.
are.
Oh, got it.
Doesn't matter. Everyone already got it. Bingo's already been had. So yeah. So Vicky, what about you? What advice would you give? Oh, you said don't buy stupid cars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't
All right, Bill. What is
yeah.
your piece of advice for past Bill?
I think there's a few. I mean, multiple cars, difficulty goes up geometrically. I think prep of the drivers needed to be improved, and those are the two big ones that I come to mind right now.
Sweet.
Cool.
Those are great ideas for someone
absolutely.
just getting into this. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Don't buy stupid cars. Don't have two of them, and actually prep your drivers.
Prep your
There you go.
drivers.
Well, you
Top
know what
tip.
though, I wouldn't say not have two, because I mean, if you're going to have two, you definitely need to have at least two mechanics. I mean, that's definitely. But you know, when something happens to one car, I mean, you're out for the entire weekend. At least if you have a second, you can at least pile into that one.
Sure.
Second cars are definitely a benefit.
Yeah, but I wouldn't do anything more than that. You know, but other than that,
Are you listening, tetanus? Probably.
I think we've had 5. Has 5 been our most amount of cars
Yeah.
at a race?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's been
That was
4,
tough.
but we had 3 of them, and that was too many.
Yeah.
For us.
Yeah.
To be able to
Two is
support
relatively manageable.
So
Relatively.
I'm going to let you guys plug your podcast here by saying I've listened to, I think, 90% of your podcast. I haven't listened to the absolute last one yet. And I think the most important lesson learned by listening to your podcast, A, your production values are way better than ours. You have like these produced intros, and I like read with a speaker next to the microphone.
Which sometimes says batteries.
Or yes, no, it never says mine. Never says battery low. And the second thing is that clearly, past Bill listened to our advice and was totally confused by some of the jargon, including the term Simpson head.
That was hilarious.
So I had never met Jeff, and we hadn't done the podcast yet. And Jeff's talking about helmets and stuff, and he goes, I have a Simpson head, and I forgot that Simpson was a manufacturer. So I'm thinking, does he look like Marge, or does he look like Homer?
Yes.
Or OJ.
Yeah.
And I'm
OJ.
he was dead on serious too. That was hysterical.
Like that.
Because he
Sometimes
thought
I
he
sit
had
back
like
here
this
and I'm quiet.
massive head.
Well, he's
With
pretty
this
close to
massive
Homer
helmet.
there. Yeah.
Don't.
Took me a while to figure that one out.
So any other thing that we confused you about? Like in the early, like now you probably figured it out by now, but
You know what? We were so confused in the beginning that we decided to start our podcast for the Uber beginners. Just the basic rundown, because I think that the longer you're in it, you really forget the basics. And we kind of figured that before we forget the basics, that we should at least start recording them on the newbies coming in, because it's very, very confusing going in that when you start, you're not sure exactly what you need, what your resources are, what to expect. And then when you're into the lemons, as you walk in, there's a lot of things, there's a lot of moving parts, even within the lemons
Structure.
The lemon structure and the lemons club, that we missed beginning meetings, we missed later meetings.
Somebody didn't bring their driver's license at one point, right?
I have no specific recollection of this event.
Don't drive away with all the helmets in the car, kids.
Yeah, so we kind of figured we'd start off from the very, very beginning, and just so people walking into lemons would know what to expect, so they wouldn't really have too many surprises.
Right.
It's a valuable public service.
Awesome. And why don't you plug the title of it so people can find it?
And we'll have a link.
Garage Heroes in Training.
It is.
And we need to actually make in training a little bigger.
Well, we do it every race. So.
Yes. Yes.
So awesome. I have to say, and I have to give you both kudos. I think that Vicki, your decorations are on spot. The amount of art and things that you did. I mean, I was very impressed with the black paint on the Hombre, even though that's just black paint. And I think you've figured out the theming part of the lemons pretty well. And kudos to both of you.
The cars
on that.
look great. You guys theme hard. Well done.
Well, we have to make up for our driving somehow. So.
I also was a little happy. I was like, good, it totally looks different. No one will ever think it's us.
We were going to put a little boat sticker on it. We were going to put a little boat sticker on it for you.
I had to walk around the truck for a little while to try to figure that one out because I'm like, it's a lot smaller than I thought it was.
You weren't talking about the truck, though.
Oh, damn. Shh.
There it goes. Nicely done. So that actually does kind of lead into my question that I had. I wanted to know where you guys got the idea for the podcast, and I was actually going to use that as a chance to be snarky, because this all kind of came from us needing an excuse. Well, they see each other all the time. I'm way down here in the South, and I wanted just an excuse to talk to them and do that. But you guys do it as a family. So you race together. You work together, then you see each other around the dinner table, and you guys go and do a podcast, and you haven't murdered yourselves each other yet. That's what's the secret behind that?
Well, you're assuming that we're talking to each other while we're doing all that, so we needed to talk to each other. So. I think the big reason that we did this was we had so much fun at all the races, in spite of some of the things we've had as far as finishing and everything. We just wanted to try and get other people in, and from a strictly newbie, never did it, but maybe have interest. We thought maybe we could help motivate people or show them that this isn't some magic carpet ride that nobody can do. If we literally can do it, then anybody can, and it's so much fun, and we wanted to see the sport grow, and that it's we're not at the age where we can continue playing our beach volleyball, so we need something to do, and this is something that's fun and it's competitive and something that you compete really against yourself, even though there's 120 other cars and 500 people out there. It's something that it's a personal challenge. So, and it's so much fun. It doesn't cost a tremendous amount. It's not free, but it's it's not terrible. And we just wanted to see if we could help in some small way, give back, and say thank you to everybody else who's out there, and try to get a few more people out there and let them enjoy some of our fun. And, maybe we can get somebody new that doesn't race with us to come out, as opposed to just keep adding to our team and more cars. So.
Yeah. And Bill and I have been married for 20 plus years. So we've been together for 20 plus years. And I think what it is yes, we do work together. We do have a company together. And we've traveled crisscross the country with his work alone before we actually settled in where we're at right now. And I think what it is that we have some serious Peter Pan syndrome, and we like to do things like that. I mean, telling you, we're all in all the time, and it's always something. We're always playing with something, doing something, and this just happens to be the latest. Whether it was volleyball at first and then crisscrossing and then, getting into the skiing, and now we're into the racing. But as long as we're doing something, and of course, all the superhero stuff is kind of addicting, So that's the other thing. He's a cinephile with the superheroes. So it's every superhero that drops with their opening night with, glasses on with the 3D.
Excellent.
There it is.
It makes the cars look great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't listened to the tribute to Stan Lee episode.
Oh, yeah. We got plans for Stan Lee for the truck.
Yep. You'll see it at Atlanta.
You'll see it in Atlanta.
Excellent.
All right.
Nice.
So, thanks. That was great.
I was going to say, anything else?
So, you guys are one of the few resources I have that may be able to answer this question.
Right.
Besides the Egyptian hieroglyphs that seem to be every single racing level division within SCCA and NASA and everybody else, who has the Rosetta Stone that you could actually understand this if you don't already know the answer? Because I can't get it through my head at all.
Nobody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
No, and that's I've actually had I talked to Haywood Wagner at an event a while back, and he's the new membership guy for the Sports Car Club of America, and that is actually one of his topics. Is he just, it needs to be easier. It needs to be less complex. He could tell you the numbers of Camaros, Mustangs, Challengers, Chargers, every high performance car. He can tell you how many of them were sold over the last 5 years in this country. And he says, and here's this great market, and we are chopping ourselves out of it by making these overly complex rules and regulations, and we have to get away from it and just get back to the basics of fun with cars.
Yeah.
And this is why the low budget endurance racing has started, because people couldn't figure out the complex rule book that is the SCCA. And I mean, they created NASA, and NASA racing, quickly followed.
Yeah, it's 3/4 of the way there. NASA will find a place for anything, but if you want to build to a rules, you still got to do that. The spec cars are easy for classing because it's spec, but
yeah, we're just trying to, schedule wise, it's easier for us in the summer. So, I bothered you guys all summer saying, where else can we go? What can we do? And the answer is, at our level, probably nowhere. But, if we got better, I don't even know what I would have to do to get a car to say, how do you compare like a Lemons A versus an AER B versus a World Endurance versus a Lucky Dog? It's hard to say what car would be appropriate for any of these if we could drive them well.
Right. AER does it all by its times. You're going to show up on Friday, you drive the car, and they'll class you according to how fast you're going around the track. I would say, like Chris said, and actually you've got access to a great NASA region. I know I'm taking Chris's thunder on that one, but Great Lakes is a phenomenal, and they'll find a place.
They're northeast, but and the other thing is like WRL is based on power to weight ratio.
Yeah.
NASA.
So you have to have a dyno.
Yeah. NASA will get you on there somehow if you have know what modifications your car has and how much it weighs, how much power it has. They'll figure something out for you. At least in HPD, you can obviously drive whatever you want, but you got to follow the NASA rungs. You got to go do the HPD, do the time trial, get your time trial license, and go to a competition school. Get to that point. By that point, you'll know what. You'll have learned where things go.
And it's the same thing with the SCCA. You have to get a car that passes the GCR, which is the general competition rules, which is drastically different. Most Lemons cars will not pass the GCR.
I don't know about that, Jeff.
Really?
Yeah. It's won't fit into a class well is something that the safety rules are actually quite. Lemons, some of them are even more strict than SCCA and NASA and things.
Yeah.
Didn't we have like too many attachment points in the Honda?
Because the Honda we had like 17 because the chassis was falling apart. The Wago van, but like our current Civic, the chassis could fit into several classes just fine. We're gonna outclass ourselves with motor.
And NASA, but at the time trial too, NASA requires that you go to a NASA qualified dyno, and you have to get a dyno reading and a weight on your car, and that's how they'll class it for the time trial.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to race a car. I want to go autocross or something, and we only really have one summer race.
Honestly, SCCA Track Night in America is probably the answer for you.
Yes,
they're very close to Pocono. They are run what you brung. So if you show up with your race car, it'll get in. If you show up with your street car, it'll get in.
They're pushing away from race cars at Track Night America.
They are.
Yeah, they don't want full cage stuff showing up because it's intimidating.
But if you show up, say I wanted to get a friend into the sport and they had never driven, but I have my race car, they would say, okay, that's fine. But if I want to go and do like a shakedown night, then they're not really into that. You see the difference? It's the intense. So
yeah.
But if I want to
honestly, just bring your street car.
Yeah, like if I want to bring the Mercedes or the NSX, they're like, sweet, do it, but not the Civic, for example, because a Civic 89 Civic hatchback is far more intimidating than an NSX
with a giraffe
AMG
print.
Mercedes.
Heck yeah.
Well, you could giraffe print the NSX. I mean, it's up to you guys.
Yeah, no.
Could yes.
Chris, out of those three, what would go faster around Pocono?
They'd actually all be pretty damn close because the Civic would destroy the turns. The Mercedes hits 140 down the straight, and the NSX is kind of in the middle. So, yeah.
Well, we'll just have to go and find out.
No, we won't. No.
Anyway, I think we've got the main topic down. Let's move on to our final sections. This week, you two are very lucky this week. Do you know why you're lucky?
We're lucky, Bill.
Because I have Vicki.
Because it's
that's the
Right
answer.
answer, Bill. Right answer.
Hey, that's not on my
tip.
Tip.
I also married a Vicky, so yes,
Tip.
we're both.
Oh, I got another box.
Tip.
Oh,
I think I
you're
got one too.
you're about to get another one. It's Thanksgiving safety time.
Whoa.
Yay! Okay, so frozen turkeys equal last forever.
I got bingo.
Turkeys? Is turkey in your card?
No.
Chrissy talks about safety, but terrible free space, NSX, and Jeff talks about working too much.
There you go.
Okay. So, if you're going to thaw it, it's going to take about 1 to 2 days in the fridge. Allow for 24 hours per every 5 pound of the bird. So, thaw your turkey by using the microwave, cold water method, or the refrigerator, but not the shower at the racetrack. How do we not die? Anyway, so it is safe to cook your frozen turkey, but cooking it's going to take you 50% longer, and don't fry it. That's a good idea. Okay, wash your hands. Don't wash the turkey. Also, which what we did at the racetrack. Anyway, it spreads pathogens.
It was in a shower. It was okay.
Yeah.
Right. Don't wash it.
Somebody
didn't
got
use soap.
salmonella on their feet. That's besides the point.
It spreads pathogens into the kitchen surfaces. Use separate cutting boards, plates, utensils when using the raw turkey to avoid cross-contamination. And cook the turkey until it reaches 165. Measure it by a food thermometer. Check the turkey temperature by the 3 different places: the thickest part of the breast, innermost of the thigh, and innermost part of the wing. Put your
165
leftovers.
is a great way to make your turkey nice and dry. If you want it to not be dry, you got to
fine.
stop it a little shorter.
Okay, well, so all of the things that I said, or I read, is telling you to char your turkey. But whatever. Just make sure it's cooked. But don't look at it. Don't look at it and say, I think it's done.
Just say probe the inner part of the thigh again. I like that part.
No, what?
It's not on your card.
After you eat it, put your leftovers away quickly. This is also a good way to avoid household animals from snacking in the other room. Leftovers are good in the fridge for 3 to 4 days. You should do something with them by Monday and then freeze them. That means you can have them forever, which is what we think. Okay,
There's a dog saying hello.
All right, so what I really say is I'm telling you to be smart about your food over the holiday. All of this stuff, you're just like, yeah, I don't even care. If you make your family sick, they'll never get over it. They will never let it go, and they will tell you the story about that time that they made you sick, that you made them sick.
Are you speaking from experience?
I am. No, I am talking about a story a Christmas story that we all got sick. Not sure what we all got sick from. My whole family, extended family, every person got sick. But it happened on Christmas. So basically we talk about that all the time. So I'm just thinking, just be smart about it so you don't have to live with this for the rest of your life. That's really my goal. Yes, Mantle.
And the thing she mentioned about not frying a turkey, you can fry a turkey, you just can't fry a frozen turkey because they explode.
Yes.
Thank you for...
I fry mine every year and have only had one near disastrous oil accident, and it was last year in New Hampshire.
Yeah. You
right?
can also
Hampshire?
use an engine
No,
hoist.
I think it was Jersey. I think it was Jersey that I
Could be.
fried last year.
Use an engine hoist to put your turkey into the fryer. It helps keep you several feet away from it.
Just wear your welding gloves.
Chris's
right in
welding
there.
gloves.
Or
Okay.
that.
So that was just the tip, but we're going to do it on the spot too. What?
That's right. That's right.
Bonus!
Extra large episode. That just happened.
2 for 1.
Okay, on the spot. What do you think?
What do you? Those of you who are new to the podcast, which is you two, on the spot means that Chrissy is going to ponder a question, and she will call out our names, and we must answer immediately without thought, even if it sounds silly.
And a brief answer. It's quick.
Brief answer. Short answer.
On the spot. What are you thankful for? Mantle.
Family. Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday because you get to eat and you don't have to buy people crap. And I got to spend last night with my brother, and we're going to be doing Thanksgiving with my family.
Wait. And what is your brother's name?
Chris.
And what is your name?
Chris.
The hell is wrong with you people?
Because redneck.
They ran out of ideas.
What are you thankful for?
I am thankful that I am in one place right now because we've moved constantly for the past 12 years. So right now we've been in one spot for 5 years. Right now, almost 5 years.
Hey, very cool.
Yeah, I'm 5. Yeah, so my family's together again because Bill and I didn't live together for 6 years during this moving process. So this move here has put us all in the same house again. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for, Chris?
Life's pretty kick-ass in general right now.
Aww.
You know, everything's good. So there we go. I almost have a kitchen. How about that?
We're going to have to remove kitchen remodel from the bingo cards if we keep this up.
Maybe we'll see. What are you thankful for, Bill?
I'm going to stay on cars, and I'm thankful for all the friends we've gotten over this year. So
that's a good one.
In the paddock.
I like that.
Hefe.
I'm thankful for, let me see here, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 6. Count them 6 days off in a row.
Nice.
The last time I had a day off, it was in the month of October.
That's awesome.
Last month. That's not that long.
No, like 20 days ago.
That sounds like a lot of napping and walking around in your underwear.
I'm talking about 20 days straight, like through the weekends.
We made up for it at New Hampshire while you were off, though. So
true.
Okay, I will go. I'm thankful for extended Lemons family. I'm going to go with Bill on this one. We have a great team, but I'm also really thankful for having the friends that we met at each track. And whenever we go there, we say hi to them. That's it. That's what I got. Thanks for coming.
I got a hella sweeter but terrible real fast.
Whoa!
All right. Oh, let's do it.
Wait,
Sure.
let me pause the music.
Yeah.
What is it, hella sweet or but terrible that NJMP is at Lightning?
Depends.
I'll go. I said so bad, and I flipped out when I found out. And then, but Chris is trying to convince me otherwise, but I think I'm still going.
Well, the last time we were there was an AER race when there were 22 cars starting, and by the end of it, there were like 12. So it was basically like the world's worst track day, and that you never stopped and were out there forever by yourself. And it gets
we
boring.
Also did really long shifts that time.
Yeah, we did like 4-hour shifts.
We
right. So it got really boring. If you've never been there, it'll probably be pretty fun. And then at the end of it, you'd be like, okay, done that. Thanks. And in the meantime, I'm just planning on how I can screw with people in turn 5 and make them push wide. That's really...
Turn 5 is actually very fun.
Yeah, that's all.
I got yelled at an Extreme Experience for pointing someone by in turn 5, and they were like, "Jeff, you can only." This is an instructor lap. So they were all instructors in the car, and Bradley Pines was like, "Jeff, we don't pass in turns." And I'm like, I make every frickin' pass in that turn. It's turn 5. It's so easy to pass. Just go by me.
Okay.
I don't know what that says.
It says Marris, not Mantle.
They were competing that year, but that was when Mickey Mantle was having all the problems drinking and everything, right?
No, he had no problem drinking.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. It was everything he had to do after
about
he was
baseball.
drinking. Yeah,
I am saying hella sweet in New Jersey, not because I like the track, because variety is the spice of life. Let's go do that one once and then never again for a very long time.
Oh, and hey, the date on the good side, the dates are so we can go.
The dates,
so that's
excellent.
Yeah.
That's also
so it doesn't conflict with the wedding. That's fantastic.
I moved it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't conflict with the new Avengers movie coming out. That's very important.
This is true. Yes.
We can't go see the Avengers movie anyway. Mental, hell sweet but terrible. It's to you.
Oh, I hate that. The Dawn course pass.
The Dawn course.
Yeah.
Would you stay home?
Oh, no. It's not like it's English Town. I wouldn't stay home. I'm just.
By the way, Extreme Experience added English Town again.
That's a shame.
Good for freaking them.
Yeah. Sorry, sponsor.
All right,
Don't go to that one.
I think we've done every single type of outro yet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yes, let's end with thank you, Bill and Vicki from Garage Heroes in Training for joining us this weekend.
Find them on the Facebooks. Find them on Google
do you want to
Play,
plug
wherever
your
you
social
podcast.
media?
Facebook is Garage Heroes in Training. Instagram is Garage Heroes in Training. Facebook is Garage Heroes IT because they don't let you have enough letters. And Garage Heroes in Training everywhere else.
Awesome. So thank you for downloading us. We hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Everyone Racers. We also hope you will join us in the world of driving, racing, and building because everyone can be a racer, even Bill and Vicki. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe. Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star rating. Even if you hate us, give us 5 stars and tell us why. If you have any questions or want to give us some show ideas, drop a comment.
We are on Google Play now.
Yes. Drop us a comment on our Facebook page, Everyone Racers, or by email at everyone.racers@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, whatever your podcasting app is, at everyone.racers. Thanks again, and until next week, keep the shiny side up. Unless it's like Bill's 944s where there are no shiny sides. Then just keep the wheels down.